Hello everyone, this is Mumbo, and welcome back to another episode on the Hermitcraft server. It's episode 122, and today we are starting things off once again over in the base area. As you can see right here, we have got our giant enderman here, we have got all of the base bits and pieces, and just a ton of pranks. I seem to have like loads of stuff just dotted around. I should probably clear these guys up at some point in the near future, but I don't want to at the minute because this guy looks awesome, this guy looks awesome, and I don't know if you can hear that, but there's some kind of crazy military exercise going on above my house right now. That sounds like an Apache gunship going past, so hopefully that's not coming for me, because otherwise I'm probably not going to fare too well. But anyway, ignoring the gigantic helicopter flying over the top of my house, what I want to say at the start of today's episode is, just recently, of course, it turned 2016. That happened last week, and obviously everyone started making New Year's resolutions. I don't tend to make too many New Year's resolutions. It's just not something that I do particularly. But I was thinking the other day, there's definitely something that I want to do in 2016, and that is work hard on the second channel. So for those of you who don't know, I've got a second channel, and for a while I was really active on it. I posted a ton of awesome videos. I was really happy with the content that I produced on that second channel. Then over the past couple months, sadly, it's sort of dropped off a little bit, I guess you could say, is dropped off somewhat, and I haven't put out too many videos on there, but that is all going to change this year because I've got a ton of awesome plans. I want to do car videos, I want to do technology videos, and also of course a handful of cat videos and vlogs as well. So basically all of that stuff is going to be going on in the second channel. So if you want to check that out, a link will be down in the description. I would highly suggest going over there because it is going to be epic. But anyway, moving on from all of the second channel bits and pieces, as you can see, I'm currently still on 1,000 deaths on the server. Of course, that hasn't changed, and I was really happy with this. I was really happy with my 1,000 deaths. I thought I was doing really well. But then Exumavoid comes along, and he's just got a ton of deaths. He's got a ton. Like, a serious... I don't know how many deaths he's got, but I was on the server the other day. He was dying quite a bit. I looked on the tab screen, and he had just over 2,000, and he was showing no signs of slowing down. And Exuma's one of those sorts of people that he goes big. Okay, he goes big, so I have no idea how high he's got up to. But I'm a little bit concerned because I definitely have a feeling that I no longer have the most deaths on the server. So as I say, we're going to be turning this into a bit of a competition here. We're going to be having a contest, the Hermitcraft Death Games. And I'm going to be setting that up over in the Hermit Thrills area. I think that'll be good fun, so let's crack on. Well, I'm trying my hardest to make a really evil looking building for this, and it is just going terribly. I even rolled out the stone bricks to try and get this to work. This is like half an hour's work, by the way. Oh, I'm so embarrassed. I am really bad at bad looking buildings, like evil looking buildings. Oh, back to the drawing board then. What is that? I've just finished building this thing and I wasn't looking at it while I was building it. Oh, I just can't do it. I just can't do it. Once again, we're going to... I can't even look at it. So finally, after a few disgusting attempts, as you can see over there, and that is just the most... What even is that? That's like a skull dog. Strange. I even had, I will admit this, I googled Minecraft skulls, and that was my reference. That's what I was building from. So yeah, that's not very pretty. But anyway, as you can see right here, I think this is about as good as it's going to get. This is the structure that I've managed to create, and as I say, I am terribly awful at creating structures that look evil or bad or horrible, Halloweeny, that sort of thing. Really bad at that sort of thing, but I think I've done an okay job here because of course we want it to be a little bit dark because this is the Hermitcraft Death Games. I mean, that's not like a happy subject, is it, particularly? So this is the structure that I've gone for. We've got the flames, we've got the lava, we've got the stone bricks, which I know I shouldn't really be using, but I'm not using them in my base, so I'd say that's absolutely fine. And then also, you know, we've got the chest, which is where all of the instructions are going to be going to for all of the hermits that want to participate in the Hermitcraft Death Games. So that's basically how this whole thing is going to be going down. This is the structure that we're going to be building. So now I've got to hop back onto the Hermitcraft server, gather up some nether bricks, gather up some stone bricks, some grey stained glass, and also probably netherrack as well, because I really don't know if I've got all of those stuff. So that's the plan at the minute, and I think it should go fairly well. My fingers are crossed, very crossed right now, because I have a feeling that, well, in the Monday evening live stream, we basically gathered a ton of resources to fill up my sorting system, and I feel like I've got some nether brick. 10. That's a lot less than I was expecting there. I think stone brick, though, I think I've got a good amount of that, so we've got no problems there, and I'll just quickly rotate that round before you guys start getting mental at me down in the comments section. Right, okay, so we've got a very small amount of nether brick, But we have got a ton of netherrack, I seem to remember. Where do I even store netherrack? Okay, it's down here. Yes, okay, so we can smelt all of this up. It's going to take a while. We can smelt all of this up, turn that into nether bricks, and then actually craft up the nether brick there. So that's a plan. Okay, that's what we're going to do. Okay, so progress update time. A large amount of the crafting has been done. You can see, got a bunch of nether brick, got a bunch of netherrack, and also I'm just working on getting that grey dye. Yep, that is how you actually do it. I remember the crafting recipe for once. So now I've got a ton of grey dye. We also need, well, we need, I would say maybe 12 bits of glass, or potentially 20 bits of glass. Fingers crossed. I've got 7. Okay, so we need to smelt up some sand. Hopefully I've got some sand over here. I've got 2. Is there any sand in here? No. Nope. And nope. Okay, well, off to the beaches then. So finally, we are ready to rock and roll after a lot of crafting, after a lot of messing about with resources, and basically just being a very inefficient Minecraft player. I seem to be just really inefficient these days. It takes me ages to do things. We are ready to go. So I'm heading over to Hermit Thrills right now with all of my resources in my inventory. So let's construct this building. Are we having any nether troubles? No, it doesn't look like it. We have been plagued with those today as well. So fingers crossed everything stays shipshape in the nether and we can continue transporting ourselves around, because otherwise things are going to get very long-winded indeed. So I'm looking for a place to put this thing, and I think straight away, I think I just found it, like instantly. I mean, that looks like a pretty good spot to me. Here. Why has nobody ever built anything here? This seems pretty tip-top in terms of spots are concerned. I mean, we've got the entrance right there, so the player literally comes through here, and then it's just gonna be there. Right, well, this thing is not a big structure particularly. We got 3 blocks like this, then it will be 3 blocks out like that, 3 blocks on this side as well. So I suppose I should probably make sure that I center it a little bit. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks on that side, and there are, oh, there's 4 blocks on that side. So unfortunately this build isn't going to be quite centered, and I think I am actually going to push it over this way just a tiny bit. I think that looks a little bit better. But yeah, I think this is definitely where I'm going to be building this thing. It shouldn't take long. It's not a particularly complicated structure, so I'll get everything built up. And you know what? Let's do this in a third person time.
Send me, I know you. Send me, send me, honest you do.
I think I have realised why nobody was building here. It's because Boombox, I believe, is directly under this. As you can see, this is a roof for something. So we are placing lava on top of that roof. I apologise. That does mean, we'll check in a second actually, that might mean that there's going to be lava droplets travelling through. Let's just place in the rest of the glass here. But as you can see, yeah, most of the build is done. I forgot my netherrack and I forgot my flint and steel because I'm a spoon. So yeah, we couldn't end up building those. But let's quickly pop inside Boombox. I hope that there's no lava dropping down. It definitely looks like there's probably going to be lava dropping down. I mean, there should be. Either that, or are these half slabs? Yes, they are, which means that lava doesn't drop through them. So there we go, it's absolutely fine. We're absolutely fine there. So yes, the actual structure is completed. I'll quickly pop back to my base now, pick up a few of the netherrack and also my flint and steel so that we can get these flames on. But yeah, the whole thing, it looks pretty good, doesn't it? And just like that, everything is completed. Look, everything's on fire, and I can do that like double jump thing, which is pretty cool if you didn't know about that. If you take damage, that's not going to be in the game for too much longer. And I don't know if you want to make use of that, but I think it's pretty good fun. It's a cool skill to learn there. But anyway, we can take out my scaffolding now, because this is the build in all of its glory. And as I say, I'm pretty happy with it. It's nothing too incredible. It's not particularly beautiful, especially compared to all of the mad stuff that's going on in the Hermit Thrills area, which of course I did do a 360-degree tour of. A lot of you guys saw that. And just as a heads up, I'm not going to be doing any more Hermitcraft 360-degree videos, simply because I think I've had my fun with them now. We're back with the regular Hermitcraft episodes. But yes, this is the place. Now all I've got to do is I've got to grab my book and I've got to write out what the instructions are for the Hermitcraft death games, because of course this is going to be like an official contest. I have no idea what the prize is going to be. I might set it up so that the hermits actually contribute prizes, like a wager, as in you place a bet on you winning. I think that would be a good way of doing things, but who knows? I'll sort of work that out as I'm writing everything out here. But anyway, I'm going to start typing, and then I'll catch you guys in a little bit. Okay, this has not been proofread, and it has not been spell checked, but it's looking pretty good to me, so I'll quickly read through. It says, "Hello Hermits, as you know, this server keeps track of player deaths. Recently I decided to have some fun with this, designing a redstone contraption that auto-killed me. I reached 1,000 deaths pretty quickly, so I've set up a contest. Turn over. Contest details. On February 10th, the person with the most deaths on the server will win a prize. If you wish to participate, please contribute to the prize pool. You can kill yourself using any means necessary. Thank you, Mumbo." Now, I'm going to be honest, reading that, I think a little bit more explanation is required on the whole prize thing, potentially. But that's basically how everything is going to be going down. It's a very simple contest. Person with the most death wins, and they win all of the prizes in the prize pool. So you essentially put a bit of a wager in, I guess you could say. You contribute towards the prize pool. If you win, of course, you get your selection back, as well as everyone else's. That's how it's going to be going down. So I'll chuck this inside this chest right here. I guess I should probably sign it as well. But that's it. That's the contest. And I'm sure it's going to be absolutely hilarious with certain people getting ridiculous number of deaths. I'm certain of that. Okay, so I have brought along my prizes. Here they are. We have got 16 diamonds, 32 redstone blocks, 32 lapis, 32 nether quartz, 32 blocks of iron, and 1 set of silk touch shears, which have been used a tiny bit, like second-hand silk touch shears. But I'd say that's like a good set of prizes so far. I'm assuming Exuma is going to come along and just put ridiculous prizes in, because, you know, Exuma's just got tons and tons of resources. But hopefully everyone else that participates, I don't know who else is going to participate, might end up just being me and Exuma Void, which is absolutely fine. But hopefully everyone else who participates also puts in some decent prizes, so that we have a good amount of stuff to actually give away at the end of this thing. So as I say, it's going to be judged on February the 10th. That is the moment of truth, which is 1 month from when this video is released, in case you're wondering why I chose that date. So yeah, that's basically it. And I've just realised something. I'm going to be well behind because, oh no, I'm going to Australia. I'm going to Australia for like 2 weeks. So I'm just going to have to log in from my laptop while I'm out there and basically do a bunch of dying. But yeah, okay, so I might be on the back foot here. I don't know if my chances are particularly brilliant, but I'm just really excited to see some ridiculous death counts. I want to see over 10,000 deaths, that's for sure. But anyway, speaking of that sort of thing, I guess we should get set up with an actual plan. And the first thing that I want to do is I want to create a new type of death machine. I've basically been doing some work in my testing world, trying to work out what is the most efficient way of dying, what's the most reliable way of dying, and I've actually come up with something pretty intelligent. So unfortunately, you know this death machine that I created in the previous episode of Hermitcraft? Yeah, well, you know, I'm going to be getting rid of this one, basically. I'm taking it out because I'm going to be replacing it with a superior design that doesn't involve this tripwire hook. Because this tripwire hook right here, although that was good, you know, it was nice having the tripwire hook, occasionally, and I don't know what caused it, but occasionally I would break the tripwire hook because of the macro. And yeah, that's just not cricket, is it really? That's not going to work for me. So instead, I'm using a slightly different design that doesn't rely on that sort of stuff. And it should work rather nicely. I haven't actually built this yet, but as I say, should work rather nicely. So I'm going to crack on with this one, and then I'll catch you guys in a little bit. Now I'm on the hunt for lava, which is always a really painful... Oh, there we go! Yes, I actually managed to find some. That was nice. What I was about to say is it's always really difficult to find lava when you're looking for lava. Whenever you're not looking for lava, of course, you find it every 5 seconds. You always fall in it. But that went much better than I expected, I must admit. Okay, so I've got the lava and the new death machine has now been constructed. Here it is. It's looking brilliant. So I'm just going to chuck all of my resources in here. Yep, all of that, all of that. Wow, I had a lot more resources on me than I first imagined, and we're going to make use of the second chest over here for this, and most importantly, the armor, because I forgot that last time, almost anyway. For the first test, I forgot it, so yeah, that wouldn't have been too smart. But anyway, I guess the first thing I've got to do is I've got to set my spawn, which I can only do at night. Didn't think that one through, did I? So, everything is now set up, but I just discovered a bit of a flaw. I tried it for the first time and destroyed all the redstone because, of course, I had my macro on. So let's quickly just place a block right there. And I don't have a pickaxe, so am I going to brute force through this? No, I am not, because that was going to take absolutely months. So yeah, I need to cover up the redstone basically, so we'll quickly place a couple blocks there, and maybe a few like that. That should basically cover us, and then of course when we fall down into there, we fall into the lava and everything is good. Right, okay, let's give it a go. Let's go. I'll just hop inside here. Don't have any stuff on me. I've got one iron block, but that's no big deal. So we drop down, and of course we take a ton of damage from both suffocating and the lava. Then we respawn, and okay, it appears to be working to me. So if I press M for my macro, that gets everything up and running. And now we have got ourselves a fully automatic death machine with absolutely no chance of me destroying any of the string or any of the mechanism. So this is going to work reliably forever now. I don't plan on staying here forever, of course, but I am going to get a decent quantity of deaths, I can promise you that. Already we are at 1009, so I'm going to now go to the gym. I'm going to leave this on. And then if I can't record when I come back from the gym, I'm going to leave it running overnight. And we'll see. We'll see how many deaths I manage to get overnight. I can imagine it's going to be quite a high number. That being said, the server has been crashing quite a bit recently due to the nether problems. So we'll have to wait and see if that will kick us off the server at some point. Either that or one of the hermits will kick me because of all the chat spam that's going to be going on. But anyway, yeah, as I say, going to leave this thing running. And we shall see how many deaths I have when I return. Hey guys, I have now returned back to the server, and I've just seen Exumavoid over there, and he's wearing my head. Hello, how's it going, mate? But yeah, I've just returned back to the server, and basically I went out, I went to the gym, so that was absolutely fine. Came back to the server, had 1,600 deaths, that's pretty good going. And then I went out with friends, returned at 3 o'clock in the morning, which wouldn't advise, very, very tired right now. But I returned back, and then of course I went straight to bed. I woke up this morning, and it turns out that basically I woke up in the cage, okay? So I came back onto the Hermitcraft, I was inside a cage in the spawn chunks over there, which was a little bit confusing, but it turns out that I guess some of the hermits got a little bit annoyed with all of my death spam, and they decided to break my bed, which is absolutely fine, because I can understand why, as 11,000, yes, 11,000 death messages probably got on your nerves just a little bit. I mean, 11,000 messages going on in the chat. That's a little bit insane. But yeah, we have now passed 5 figures. So we have got a 5-figure death count, which is just, well, that's just absolutely insane, isn't it? That's just absolutely bonkers. 11,275. But Exuma is still hot on our tail with just over 5,000 deaths. So he's going well as well. But how cool is that? It's good. It's good. We've got 11,000 deaths now on the server. And I don't know, I'm sort of aiming for 6 digits. I think that would be hilarious. 100,000 deaths on the server. It's definitely possible because we got 11,000 in one night. We could definitely do like 10 nights of AFKing. That'll be fine. It's just as long as the hermits don't get too annoyed with all of the death messages that are going to be going on. But anyway, yes, as you can see, we are going strong in this death competition. The deadline is February the 10th. So that is what we are working towards, and hopefully we can get like a decent sized prize pool here and get a bunch of the hermits involved, because I think it'll be a really fun contest to do. But unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, that is all I've got time for today. We have now got 11,000 deaths, we have got a new area in Hermit Thrills, and I've got a new design for the death machine. So I feel like we've done a pretty decent job in today's episode. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please sure to hit that like button, and if you really loved it, then make sure to subscribe. But thanks for watching, guys. This has been Mumbo, and I am spamming all the buttons, but I'm also out. I'll see you later.